So this story was sent to me on Twitter earlier a few hours ago, and I'm recording this on January 5th, 2021, where it was reported that Dr. Dre was hospitalized after suffering a brain aneurysm. That is extremely serious and also very dangerous because, that deals with the brain, bleeding of the brain. And, a lot of people don't fully recover from brain aneurysms, and a lot of people do die from those. And when I first heard about it, I immediately said to myself, I have a feeling I know who was the cause of that, which is why I have this picture up of Dr. Dre and who I believe to be the cause. His estranged wife, Nicole Young. Now, I did not do any videos really so much about, I take that back. I maybe did one or two videos. I wasn't too invested into the whole Dr. Dre, Nicole Young situation because, I don't like to get too wrapped up into that. There are sectors and channels who do that. I did maybe one or two because this woman right here is a piece of work, literally and figuratively. Like, she was putting Dre through a lot of hell last year financially because, of this divorce settlement or these prenuptials and all types of other things. Like, she was basically trying to get as much money out of this man as she possibly could. Mind you, she's a lawyer by trade. I'm like, you a lawyer, but you are trying to suck all this money out of this man. And I truly believe she walked into that marriage with a plan. I'm going to be with him for a certain amount of years, pop out some kids, and then I'm going to make a run for the exit, and then I'll be able to collect on my funds. That's what it screams to me when it comes to her. And that's why I say all that stress that she put him through last year is probably what led to this. Now I'm going to go ahead and read this article because there was also something else that came out today as well concerning her. And then ironically, this comes up, but I'm going to lead into that after I read this article. Rap great Dr. Dre has been hospitalized after suffering a brain aneurysm, according to a report from TMZ. The 55-year-old mogul suffered the brain bleed Monday and was rushed to Los Angeles Hospital, TMZ reported. He went straight to the intensive care unit at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center. Send your love and prayers to the homie Dr. Dre, Ice Cube tweeted Tuesday night. Dre, whose legal name is Andre Young, was in stable condition Tuesday, according to TMZ. Doctors were running tests to see what caused the aneurysm. The legendary producer is in the middle of a messy divorce with his wife, Nicole Young. A hearing in the case is scheduled for Wednesday. Now, how about this? This man suffered an aneurysm Monday, in the hospital by Tuesday, and then they said there's a hearing in the case with his divorce from her on Wednesday. I'm recording this on Tuesday, so that will be in real time tomorrow. But by the time y'all will see this video, it would have already been a couple days ago. Do you think she's going to stop her crusade for this? I'm telling you, the woman's hell's on wheels. She's going to keep going. She doesn't care. She's on a mission. And she's not going to stop until the mission accomplished because the thing is, Dre was smart. He outsmarted her he cut off so many corners from her, and she's not stopping until she gets what she wants. She doesn't care that her estranged husband is in the hospital from an aneurysm that she most likely helped cause. She doesn't care. She's the succubi defined. Let's continue. Young is challenging the couple's prenup amid their high-stakes separation, saying her husband previously admitted she was quote-unquote coerced. That's what they're calling it these days. After coming up with NWA, Dr. Dre's debut album, The Chronic, in 1992, made him a music superstar. The Compton, California native later branched out to become music moguls worth nearly $1 billion. And I think she had said something along the lines of her coming up with the name for something which just we knew was a lie. But yeah, she's just out for the bag. That's all it really is. Now, get this. Before the article that I read to you came out about Dr. Dre suffering an aneurysm and going to the hospital. There was another article, another slew of articles that came out hours before this that was talking about how Nicole Young had revealed that Dr. Dre had over $250 million in cash in Apple stocks. Now, I have not read the article yet, but it's making me wonder, why would she reveal something like that? And I think it's also so to help her case so she can get money. Now, like I said, this article came out hours before it being revealed that he suffered an aneurysm and was in the hospital. Now I'm going to go ahead and read this. Dr. Dre and Nicole Young's divorce has been nothing short of messy, especially as new revelations emerge. Over the past few weeks, it seemed that Dr. Dre has been trying his best to make this whole thing come to an end sooner rather than later. Just a few weeks ago, the producer shared the agreements of their prenup as he tried to shut down Young's claim that he had ripped it up. Meanwhile, he's been trying to get Nicole Young to slow down on her spending habits, which have reportedly been upwards of $293,000 and $293,306 monthly. This woman gets roughly around $300,000 a month, and she manages to always blow through most of it. This woman has a spending problem. Mind you, like I said, she's a lawyer, quote unquote, by trade, but out in Hollywood, aren't they all? It's amazing how a lot of the ones who claim to be lawyers and doctors end up with these super wealthy men, but then they don't put their degree that they went to school for so long for to actual work. It's like, okay, what courtroom have you been in? What case have you worked on? Who have you helped get off or found not guilty? Like, I couldn't. Do you know any case that Nicole Young has worked? Because I don't know. I only know her as being Dr. Dre's gold digging wife. Because that's really all she is. She's a sack chaser. But look at how much money she was getting monthly. And I bet you starting out, that's probably even not how much she was getting. She's mad about that. She felt that's not enough. She felt that's not enough. That's a lot of money. But see, the thing is, she married this man and she was living a certain lifestyle, and she can't stand to not live that lifestyle anymore when she's separated, and she can't venture out on her own because she's been a leech all these years. Let's see what else it's saying. According to TMZ, Young's attorney is now trying to claim that Dre has more than enough money to cover her lifestyle moving forward. So that's why she revealed how much money he had, because, you know, telling that to a judge will help her case to say, well, you do have all of these assets, you do have all of this money, so we're going to continue to make you pay for her lifestyle because you can cover not only yourself, but her as well. I'm telling, like I said, hell on wheels is what this Nicole Young is. Dr. Dre is certainly a wealthy man, but according to Young's CPA, Dr. Dre has $262 million in cash and Apple stocks. The accountant said that this was a large source that was funded their lifestyles between 2017 and 2019, which on average tipped towards $2.3 million each month. At the same time, they spent roughly $245 million in a 3-year period with an available $26 million in cash at their disposal. How much you want to bet she did most of the spending? And when I say spending, I'm talking about on liabilities. Basically something that would depreciate over time. He was probably the one spending the money the correct way. But being the sack chaser that she is, she was spending it on frivolous stuff that wouldn't be worth much probably after a few months to maybe a year. But yeah, she definitely has a spending problem. Like, the nerve of her to actually come out and say how much money this man has. This man was being pocket watched in his own marriage. Young's accountant is trying to make a case that Dr. Dre has enough money to not only to continue to pay off Young's attorney fees, but also maintain the status quo of their lifestyle. And that's what it boils down to. She wants to maintain the lifestyle she's always been living with while married to him. And something tells me this is why he wants a divorce from her, is because of her obsessive spending habits. She figures, oh, Dr. Dre, this big time rapper, a legend in the game. He has Apple stocks. Those Beats by Dre sell like hotcakes. There's no way he's going broke. But guess what? Neither should I. So even if we're separated, I'm going to still find a way to dig my heels and my talons into him and claw away at his wealth while not having to do or accomplish anything. I can just sit on my ass and just spend all day. That's what she does. This woman does nothing but spend, spend, spend. Not her money, but his money. I wonder how much money she has to her name. While we're talking about finances, and since she wants to go out and put on blast everybody else's funds, how much money does Nicole Young have to her name? What is her net worth? And I'm talking about money she's made, not money that Dre made that he gave to her. And who knows, he probably gave her money to put into investments to get businesses started, and she probably squandered it. She just gives off lazy vibes. She's like a damn couch, just furniture, just there. It's been a large part of their battle since Nicole is seeking $2 million a month for spousal support. Look at that leap. She's already getting near $300,000 a month. She is now demanding to get $2 million a month just because she was married to this man. And to keep up appearances. This is why many wealthy men are opting out of getting married, because of the fear of running into a Nicole Young. One who may look good on the outside, but inside they are horrible. It says Nicole's accusing Dre of understating his income and funding the lifestyles for other alleged girlfriends. She's laying it on thick. She's trying her hardest to get this money. And the thing is, with the way that it sounds like her spending habits are, a person who's obsessed like that, like her, $2 million won't be enough for her. She'll be back for more. Trust and believe. She's going to come back because it doesn't stop. Like, you have to keep up a certain appearance, but see, she's trying to keep up with the Joneses because there's always going to be someone out there that's going to be living better than her, and she's going to try to outdo them. So then she's going to go right back to court and try to get more money out of him. But the point of it is, after reading this article, now y'all can see in my eyes that she is the catalyst for why he had that brain aneurysm. I wouldn't be surprised. Now you got to wonder, and I don't want to jinx it, but I'm gonna knock on wood. Let's say that Dre doesn't pull through. Like, say the worst happens. What is she going to do then? She's going to have to sit and hope that he pulls through before she gets anything, if she gets anything. But knowing her, she might work her little witchcraft. She might go down to her basement and stir her cauldron and pull something out of her ass and make something work for her. This woman is no good at all. Like I said, this is my first time really diving deep into this situation and really examining who she is. And it didn't even take that long to examine. We already see what type of woman she is. And what's scary is there's many more Nicole Youngs out there in the world. So guys, y'all better be very careful if you attain wealth of who you decide to put a ring on. But I'm going to go ahead and end the video on this note. Y'all let me know what you think down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. Make sure if you want notifications for every video that I upload or any kind of content that you text that number that is pinned down in the comments. And I will talk to you in the next one. So I wanted to come on here and give this update to this video. And this actually just came out like today, involving Dr. Dre and his gold digging wife Nicole Young. But first update is I heard that Dr. Dre is out of the hospital, so that's a good thing. They said that he's home. That actually came from, I want to say it was either Ice Cube or LL Cool J that had put out a tweet saying that he's at home and that he's stable and he's doing okay. So that's a good thing. Now on to the bad. As you can see by the title, it says Dr. Dre agrees to pay estranged wife Nicole Young $2 million in temporary support. So I'm going to go ahead and read this article and see what else they're talking about. Following a brain aneurysm and attempted burglary on his home, which is something else that just came out. I didn't know his home was about to be burglarized, and I would not be surprised if she was behind it. I'm telling you, the woman is hell on wheels. Dr. Dre will pay his estranged wife $2 million in temporary spousal support. According to legal documents obtained by The Blast, the money will be advanced to her by Monday and should be used to cover her living expenses, such as her Malibu home. The agreement also states that Young, age 51, will be responsible for her own security fees for the next few months until they meet back in court. The judge ruled to continue the divorce until April to give the 55-year-old music mogul time to recover. I'm willing to bet that chick is hoping that he passes on by that time. They better keep this woman as far away from him as possible. Cause I don't hold nothing past her, especially with all the stuff that I've just read about her. Reps for the estranged couple didn't immediately return Page 6's request for comment. Young's first requested $2 million in spousal support and $5 million in legal fees in September in papers that described Dre, born Andre Young, as a control freak who quote unquote forced her to sign a prenup on their wedding day under extreme duress. I smell and call bullshit. Under the extreme duress part. Anyway. Dre then threatened to summon every guest who attended their 1996 wedding to prove she wasn't coerced into signing the agreement. In case y'all didn't know, Nicole Young was also involved with another, I think, a NBA player back in the day. So she definitely has a type, quote unquote. She goes where the money is going. But something else I also heard about is that not only will he be continuing to cover her living expenses at her Malibu home, but they said he will also be helping to cover the living expenses of her mother's home in the Pacific Palisades over that same course period. So this man is billing out money to her and her mother. This reminds me so much of the whole Kobe Bryant, Vanessa Bryant mother-in-law situation. The only difference is Kobe Bryant's mother-in-law, Vanessa Bryant's mother, is the one who's doing all the gold digging, as it seems. But this one right here is pulling out money for herself and for her mother. I'm gonna say this: Dre got a raw deal with this chick. A bad deal. A horrible one. But yeah, they better keep an eye on her for the next couple of months. Because that attempted burglary, just something just screams that she was involved with that. Like, that's just me. I don't think I'm the only one that feels that way either.